Alright, so if you clicked on this video, chances are you're probably a similar age to me, I'm 18, or you're probably older. Now, if you're younger, fair enough, nice. You're thinking about your future already. I like it. So, if you're my age or a bit older, you probably remember the days when you used to go out as a kid and you used to go out into the forest, into the fields, depending on where you lived. Maybe if you lived in a big city, this isn't as applicable, but for me, this is around me, right? There's a lot of this around, a lot of trees, a lot of nature. Lovely. So I used to go out and play with my friends. I used to go on my bike. I used to bike to all these places with my friends. Now, I'm lucky. I was just on the edge of the internet generation, of the phones as kids generation. I'm just about at the age where I remember not having a phone when I was a kid. I remember I got my first phone. I was in year 6, which means the year before secondary school. So I must have been 12, which is still quite young. I still wouldn't give my kids a phone that young, but I had a phone when I was about that age, and before that, I was out playing all the time. Even when I got my phone, I had some like crap phone that was literally just for ringing my mum, messaging my mum, and receiving those two from my mum, because I was walking to and from school by myself at that age. So, and it wasn't very far, but my mum obviously loves me very much and didn't want me to get kidnapped on the way to school. So she thought, yeah, I'll give him my phone, and it was some crap Samsung, but it did the job and it did what it needed to do. But I did not have an iPhone or an iPad when I was massively young. I had a tablet, which I would sometimes use, rarely. I preferred playing outside. But nowadays, all the kids in this generation, they're all on iPads, they're all on phones. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is, if you're looking at having kids in the near future, maybe consider not giving them a phone. Maybe consider not giving them an iPad. Now, we're seeing a big rise in people agreeing with me on this. Because a couple of years ago, even up to like now, almost every single child has an iPad or a tablet or a phone. They don't go outside. They'd rather stay at home, or like a console or a PC or a computer, whatever. They'd rather sit inside and play with their friends inside. Now, I think, as a parent, you need to take control of your child's life and you need to shape their future to be as good as it possibly can be. That's your responsibility as a parent. And so let them be out in nature. For a little while, you might have to force them to be out into nature. Actually, to be fair, when they're a child, they're going to be naturally drawn to nature. It's only when you put something more mentally stimulating in front of them that they're going to choose that. Because, let's be real, the iPad is more interesting than being out here. Like, you can get anything you want on an iPad. And there's thousands of things at once that you're seeing. Very stimulating for a child's brain. However, you need to allow your child to develop and to learn about the world. Because I learned about the world, I learned about nature, I learned about all this stuff from doing it, from being out, from being outside, from climbing trees, from getting muddy, from rolling around, coming home with grass stains all over my knees. Do you know what I mean? This is how you learn, and this is how you develop as a human being. Because we're not meant to be sat inside all day. We're not meant to be staring in front of a screen. We're not meant to be, when your parents used to say, don't look at the TV too long, you'll get square eyes. It's the same with like phones and shit. This is what's going to happen to your child. Your child is going to become so much less intelligent and they're going to basically develop ADHD. This is why so many people, sidetrack, this is why so many kids now have ADHD, because they just have shit attention spans. They don't have ADHD. They have ADHD-like symptoms because of their fucking iPads and their phones and all of this stuff. That's why. It's because they don't have the time to mentally develop, and they don't have the time. They've not been sat down somewhere that's not very mentally stimulating and had to deal with that and had to entertain themselves. Or even not be entertained, just sit there and do nothing for a little bit. That's what's so important. You need to get them out, get them playing with each other and by themselves and with you, and just develop them as a person, because it's your responsibility as a parent to raise your children. So many parents nowadays let schools raise their kids and their iPads raise their kids. They don't raise their kids because they can't be bothered. They're too lazy. They'd rather watch fucking some stupid stuff on TikTok, right? And it's disgraceful, it's disgusting. And it's a shame because so many kids' potentials are going to waste because the parents can't be bothered to actually teach them something, to actually take them out into nature and into the world. It doesn't even have to be nature, just into the world, into the real world. Have social interactions with people. I know so many children that can't speak to people like in a normal way because they just haven't been socialized. And this is what I'm saying. You need to really teach your kids about the world. Don't let your teachers teach your children everything. They're there to teach them the things that you can't teach them. And let's be honest, you can probably teach them more than a teacher can on a lot of things, especially young children, especially like toddlers. Think about it, right? These teachers are normal people. These teachers are going out on the weekends. These teachers are drinking. Some of them are probably smoking. They're probably doing all these bad habits that you don't want your kids to have. Yet you're letting them influence your children. Think about that, right? That's crazy. You're letting some random person educate your child on stuff that you don't know about because you can't be bothered. Because you want to sit on TikTok. Because you want to watch the TV. Because you want to be lazy. It's disgraceful. Sort it out. Let's get parenting back. Let's get society back. Let's change it all. And let's fucking fix it because it's going to be the end of the world. As we know it. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. So, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. I love you. Mwah.